Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rodney's Life Lessons. Today I'm going to talk about meditation, different techniques I've used, and the different results I've got from those different techniques. First off, there's many different modalities and trains of thought and practices, and I'm not going to say one is better than another. I think each of them has its use and its place, and I think you'll naturally progress through the different modalities as you gain that serenity that meditation is designed to do. I was just recently taught transcendental meditation. I'll cover that more at the end. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about the meditation technique that I used for years that allowed me to go from my head and the ego to the heart and to love. There was a click, and I actually felt it one day after a long meditation. I was like, wow. So what that means is you don't think your way through life, you feel your way through life. If it feels wrong, it more than likely is. Your intuition becomes your guide and not your monkey mind that will take you off on so many different tangents. And so often our ego will say, that's not right, this is how you should do it. One thing about the ego, and I'll talk about that in a different class, is it is more often successful as the victim than the aggressor. It's like, I shouldn't be treated that way. All sorts of different things. So anyways, back to meditation. So what I did for many years, meditation, was techniques that were taught by the Tibetans. And they talk about stilling the monkey mind. They say if you don't give your mind something to do, it's going to go off on a tangent over here, over there. You're going to be bouncing around all over the place. So what they teach and what I did and what personally worked for me, you may want to try. You may want to try alternative methods or mix it up a little or incorporate some and not some. It is completely up to you. And each of our walks is individual, as they should be, for we are unique souls and beautiful in that. So what I would do, I would try and go to a place in nature, but you can do this in your home. You can do this, pretty much anywhere, but you do want to be not distracted, so you can't, do it in a football game or something. You might say a few mantras, but you can't really meditate. And you can get to a point where you can block all that stuff out, but not when you're first starting. So what I would do, I would go to the park or the beach, and I would sit down cross-legged. No, pretzel sitting, just cross-legged. And one of the main things is, so I'm sitting down, my legs are crossed, and I won't move. Like if my hips start hurting, my knees start hurting, my ankles start hurting, I won't move. This is a form of ego death in its own right, because you are telling your body, like, no, I control what you do and what you don't do. It's not a knee-jerk reptilian reaction where you just react on instinct. No, you control your body as we control our mind. So I would just sit with my legs crossed. And then I would put my fingers, they're called mudras, and then I would alternate between the fingers as the time progressed, ending up on the small finger. So I'm sitting cross-legged, I have my hand on my knee, and I'm just my eyes are closed. So that's two things. And then, so my eyes are closed, I would then breathe in through my nose, hold for a short amount of time, and out through my mouth. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. That's another thing. That's a third thing. And then, as I'm inhaling, I would say in my mind the word so. So. And as I'm exhaling, I would say the word in my mind hum. So hum. So that's 4 things, right? We're giving our mind things to do here. And as I'm inhaling, saying the word so, I would raise my tongue to the roof of my mouth, right? And I go in my mind, so. And as I exhale through my mouth, saying the word hum in my mind, I would drop my tongue. Hum. So hum. So this is 5 things. We're giving our monkey mind something to do. So you sit cross-legged, don't move. Your hips hurt, your knees hurt, it'll pass. And even you'll be a little bit stiff when you get up. You'll be fine. Your leg's not going to fall off, right? Your mind's going to scream, and you scream back, say, no, I'm not moving. And over time, it's kind of like, you win, and it'll give up trying to, and it'll relax. You'll relax. Your muscles will relax. So you got your mudra going on, cross-legged, eyes are closed, in through the nose, saying the word so, out through the mouth, dropping the tongue, saying the word hum. And you just do that. You want to progressively do it longer and longer. I mean, when you first start out, you probably just maybe 5 minutes. Now, it's important to try and do it at least twice a day. If you do it longer, half hour, 45 minutes, maybe you can get away with once a day. But you sort of want to start your day and end your day, because we do enter the dream realm, and you do want to be at peace and rested and serene as you're in the dream realm. So that is technique that I used for years. Tibetan taught technique to quiet the monkey mind. Because again, if you don't, it's going to go off on a tangent, and you're just going to be thinking about this, you're going to be thinking about that, you're going to think about work, think about dinner, think about what happened yesterday, what's going to happen tomorrow. And you just go, and you're not really getting a rest of any type. So that's the technique that I used for years. And that's the technique that brought me from my head to my heart, from my ego to love, from thinking, and often we will think things need to be this way. Why do they need to be that way? Because your ego wants them to be that way. It's like Bruce Lee says, you need to learn to be like water. You just flow over things. As life comes, the dips and the highs and the lows, you just flow with it. Stress comes when we resist. That's when the friction happens. We need to be okay with things. We need to be okay with somebody, talking smack to us. It's like, because if we're not, that's our ego. How dare you talk to me like that? Don't you know who I am? La, 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 la. All right? We need to get a hold of our mind and control it. Because we're not the thoughts. We are the thinker behind the thoughts. Right? So we can control what we allow. If you're going to have a negative thought, you need to think 5 positive thoughts. And these things, as we do them, it shifts us. See, what we focus on, we manifest. So if you're continually thinking about loss and stress and friction, you're going to get more of that. That's just how it works. That's what we attract. We manifest what we think. Like when I wake up in the mornings and when I go to bed at night, I say a prayer. And the highest expression of love is gratitude. So I wake up thanking Creator for a new day, for my home, vehicles, jobs, children, pets, friends, my beautiful wife, for the prosperity and abundance in all areas of my life. And the more you think about those, the more you'll manifest them. Your life will come to peace. Now, I learned a new technique, transcendental meditation, and keeping in mind that I've been doing this over 10 years, like easily over 10, 15 years meditating and this technique I just explained. And I was taught in transcendental meditation something completely different. Now, the thing with TM, which is what I will now call transcendental meditation, the thing with TM is like Reiki, you have an attunement. You have a ceremony that opens you to the message and the meditation technique of transcendental meditation. So you can't just, the instructor that does the ceremony also gives you a mantra to repeat. So I can't teach you TM. It takes 18 to 24 months. You need to learn Sanskrit. It's very involved. It's Vedic teaching. It's the ancient meditation technique. They call it King's Yoga. This was the original form of meditation, the original yoga. So through years of trials and always wanting to be better, reading, ceremony, praying, involved in hundreds of Zoom calls with hundreds of elders and wisdom keepers and shamans and working with shamans and having ceremony done on me and doing ceremony with other people, there's a saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So we don't want to get caught on the semetics of, you need to go here. You need to step up and advance to different levels. You can't just go right to the end. So many people want to do that. They want to bypass the steps to get there, not realizing the steps are where you get your growth, where you get your maturity, where you evolve as a soul, allowing you to be aware of that next step. If you just show up, you don't know. You don't know where you're supposed to be in your mind. And people want shortcuts all the time. So TM taught me that I had to unlearn things. And I will get into it briefly. I'm not going to talk about the ceremony or the mantra because these are sacred and you're actually instructed. You don't talk about these things. But what TM teaches is, so we meditate and we have a mantra. There's none of the fingers and the legs crossed and breathing in, breathing out. There's none of that. None of it. The key is to let the mind go. So what you do is you start your mantra and you go deeper and deeper into your mind, and then you start thinking about things. You think thoughts and thoughts and thoughts, and you go, oh crap, I'm supposed to be meditating. You remember your mantra and you go deeper and deeper in your mind, and then some other thoughts come popping in and you start thinking about those and about those and about those. And you got this wave pattern, and at the top you have the chaos and the stress, and at the bottom we have the bliss and the serenity. And so we're going close to bliss and serenity, and our thoughts are bringing us to the chaos and bliss and chaos. And the idea is that when we are thinking the thoughts, it's our body's releasing of stresses. The thoughts themselves don't mean anything. The mantra itself doesn't mean anything. They're simply a means of accessing our highest version of self, the divine being that we truly are. And this is our mind's natural existence, state of being, is that divinity, that soul that you are. But then the world is going to pull you back. And then we want to go back and relax and be the divine being we are, but the world pulls us back. So the goal is to raise the bottom to the top until you don't have the chaos and you don't have the drama and trauma, but you just have the bliss and the serenity. So as we do this sort of roller coaster, the thoughts are releasing the stresses. What's taught in TM is when we sleep at night, our metabolism lowers like 8 to 10 points. That's when we get rest. When you do TM, your metabolism lowers 15 to 20 points. Like you truly get rested. You truly, and when you're resting, your body can recover. And it's this natural rhythm as you're going deeper and you're releasing, you're going deeper, you're releasing. And pretty soon, from the peaks and valleys, they just a little wave, and then we live in that serenity, that bliss state. The idea is to bring that state of spirit and rest to our existence in our daily walk. So we don't have the chaos and the drama and the trauma, but and TM teaches critical, you meditate 20 minutes twice a day. Generally when you sort of first get up, a little bit after you first get up, and then as the evening is winding down. So and this is really important. And I've already had instances where I'm meditating and I can't feel my hands. I can't feel my legs. It's like, are my legs crossed? Am I even in my body? So it's a beautiful thing, and that's the goal. The goal is to transcend. You step out of the body and the pains and the worries, and you step into your beautiful divinity of who you truly are. And when you do that often enough, you'll do a shift, and then your true beauty and divinity becomes the walk that you do every day. So those are a couple techniques that I've used that have helped me incredibly. There's a few books on transcendental meditation. And, it's one of these things, like in class that we did, there was 4 of us, not large classes, and that's what you want. There was a 24-year-old man there. So this is not something that, you need to wait. If it's calling you, if you want to change your life, like the Beatles made this very famous and popular in the 60s, and then it exploded. It's a worldwide movement. There's millions of people that practice TM, thousands, hundreds of thousands of instructors. They have a university. If you're interested in learning more, I would go. I mean, it's going to cost you probably $500 for the 4 days to learn the TM, but you'll never regret it. To be able to heal your mind, which in turn heals your body, we got to realize that a lot of the ailments we're feeling are because of stresses on organs and our mind. This is how our body is telling us you're doing something wrong here. So, it took me years and decades of meditating before I stepped into TM. That doesn't mean you need to take that long. You could go and find a transcendental meditation practice near you and go through the steps and start changing your life. It is recognized by the medical community. Like doctors prescribe TM. There's been over 700 studies with 300 peer-reviewed studies. It showed one of the videos that we watched. It had a young lady that was a TM practitioner hooked up. She had the skull cap with all the sensors on it, and it was hooked up to a computer. And the doctor, physician, whatever, scientist, it was showing I think there was 4 or 5 different wave patterns that the mind was putting out. And as her eyes are open and she's sitting in the front of 400 people and he's talking, it's all over the place and it's jagged and very chaotic looking brain signals. And then she starts to meditate. Eyes are closed, and within 6 seconds, you see that from all over the place, they're just like this. Every one of those 5 waves, they're just calm. They're just calm. It's like, holy cow! There's physical evidence, and there's peer-reviewed studies to back this up, that this works. And it was truly a gift. We were taught by his name is David Zimmer in Phoenix, Arizona. He was actually taught in India by Maharishi, who was one of the original yogis of this practice. So I feel very, very blessed, because lineage is important. You want to make sure that you're getting a teacher that's really knows what they're doing, because the opening ceremony too is they're passing that knowledge on to you. and I said that to him. I says, you just did an attunement, and that ceremony with that mantra, these two are connected. And he says, most people don't recognize that or realize that. I says, well, it's because I do Reiki. It's like, I do attunement, and I know what it's like. So you can't just jump in and start saying a mantra. You need to go through the steps. You need to have a one-on-one instructor that does the ceremony, gives you the mantra, teaches you how to use it, teaches you what it does when you do use it, and then you go from there. So those are techniques that I've used that have helped me incredibly. I pray every day, and I meditate twice a day, every day. We want to control our mind before society and the world controls it, because it's going to bring us into chaos. It's going to make us sick, and we're going to, not be happy. And we all want to be happy, because in our true nature, we are divine, loving beings, and meditation helps to bring you there. I hope you guys liked this message. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Take care, everyone. Bye.